are doing a live draw today with Mark Poulton, a fantastic writer who's been doing a lot of work in indie comics for a really long time, right?
Yeah, since 2006.
2006. How many books have you written?
Oh man, I don't even know.
Yeah,
When I first started out, it was easy to keep track of. At some point, I just stopped counting. I know I have I have 2 shelves dedicated to the books that I've written so far. So
yeah, I just got that owl book, the Black Owl.
Oh, nice.
I got that, yeah, and I was getting ready to start reading it, but then we had to start packing. So it's on my list to read as soon as I get done with that. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun. We've got a few people here. Bot on my face. Hello all, nice to have you here. Amanda B is here. Teddy, Blue Teddy Nation is here as well. It's good to have you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Mark, your job is going to be to keep up with the chat for me.
Sure.
And talk to these guys, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to draw your character. All right.
Yeah.
So, first, tell me about the book that we're working on. What is this?
Sure. It's the book is Hurley's Heroes, which is currently on Indiegogo. It's about a man who dedicates his life to helping others after gaining superpowers from his superhero organ donor. Sort of inspired by a true story. Family friend, Hurley Alderman, he had 2 strokes and he had dual organ transplants. And afterwards, he went from being a trucker to dedicating his life to working with children with special needs.
Oh man, that's awesome. I kind of like that premise of he gets an organ from a superhero.
Yeah.
How did the organ leave the superhero? I guess. So, are you able to talk about that, or is that like a spoiler?
Yeah. It's not a huge part. I mean, the scene happens in the comic, but the hero of the town, he sacrifices his life saving the city, and he is an organ donor. So yeah, Hurley just so happens to be the next on the list. And what happens when you get a superhero's organ donor? It's never been done. So
right, yeah, that's a really cool concept. I'm putting putting a link in the chat so everybody can check this out. It looks like you've done really well on this one. You could do a little bit better though.
Yeah.
We could always do better, right?
Absolutely.
Of course. 59 backers, 8 days left to go. I haven't backed this one yet, so I'm gonna have to back it. This actually sounds interesting, and so you at least got one more backer coming.
That's awesome.
We're gonna go and draw Hurley. Is this Hurley?
Yeah.
Is the guy I'm drawing? Okay.
Yep.
So I've got it pulled up. I cheated a little bit this week, and I kind of got a sketch started so that I could work a little bit faster. I tend to try to do these things in just an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I start from scratch, I'm like rushing at the end to try to get it all done, and it's not as good as what I would like it to be. So I wanted to show off for you today.
I appreciate it. Just from the layout, I think it's going to be great. So in the chat, we got Amanda B and Bat on my face. They're 2 of the regulars over on my channel, and 2 of my biggest supporters for all my campaigns. For Hurley's Heroes, since the real life Hurley works with children with special needs, he actually arranged it. A local coffee shop, the Inclusion Coffee Shop, they hire people with Down syndrome to work in the coffee shop. There's a Hurley's Heroes drink on the menu, and a Bat on my face. Part of his routine every Sunday is he stops there for the Hurley's Heroes white chocolate hot chocolate drink.
Well, that sounds delicious.
My son and I, we went last weekend and we picked it up. But yeah, they have a exclusive trading card, sticker, and bracelet there. So if you're in Elmer, New Jersey, stop by the Inclusion Coffee Shop and get some free Hurley's Hero swag.
Yeah, well, I'm often there. Not really.
I bet.
Yeah, I spend a lot of my time just here in Jax.
Yeah.
Which that is changing. Moving to Indiana, and so that'll be I'm originally from there. If you know that. I'm originally from the Hoosier State.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. So this guy seems He seems real salt of the earth. This character does.
Yeah. Kind of your everyman, truck driver. Hard worker, blue collar guy who, when he gets these superpowers, he feels like he owes the world, a debt for getting a second chance at life. He wants to do the most he can with these new abilities.
So tell me, how did you get started in doing comic books? Like what made you think, hey, 2006, I'm going to start writing comic books for people?
So I was always a comic book fan, and I wanted originally to be an artist, but when it came time to I graduated high school, I wanted to go to an art school, and my parents were like, "We already know how to draw. we're not sending you to art school." And I was like, "Oh, there's so much more for me to learn." And they're like, "Oh, go, get a degree with something you can use, a fallback plan, and then afterwards you can go to art school." Well, I went to college, and then afterwards I was like, I don't want to go to school any more than that.
Tired of school.
Yeah.
Sucks.
So while I was in college getting my marketing degree, there was never any art classes that fit in my schedule, but there was writing classes, so I would take them. And just so happened after I graduated from college, this degree I had to have, the only job I could get was a cashier at a department store. And my first day there I happened to meet a coworker, and we were talking, and he was like, "Oh, what would you go to school for?" And I said, "Marketing, but what I really want to do is make comic books." And his eyes lit up, and he goes, "I go to art school. I want to make comic books too." And at that moment, we became best friends.
Of course, right? Yeah, that's how that works out.
And,
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
pretty much how it worked. And so we would get all these big ideas for comics, and then around just trying to break in. Back then, it was kind of a mystery how to break into comic books. Now I would just say, just make your own book. But then I had no idea how to. And at the time, it was like this big movement with indie filmmakers like Kevin Smith, Robert Rodriguez, and they were writing books telling you how to make these movies, and it seemed like so easy. so I wrote a screenplay and I optioned it, just following like their playbook in their books that they wrote.
Oh, cool, man.
And so a couple of years I spent trying to get this teen comedy I wrote called "Give Me Back My Stuff" made, and it was in development for a couple of years. Never made it into production. And then afterwards, I was like, started to have, like, the internet became more prevalent, and I could look up indie publishers and find out their submission processes. And I was still friends with the guy I met at the department store, Dexter Weeks. We're actually still close friends now. We work together on almost all my projects. And we're like, let's give this a serious go. And my first book was Coney Waves in 2006. Found a publisher for it, and I never looked back after that. Bat on my face is looking forward to that Hurley Heroes stretch goal. That's a garbage pail kids inspired trading card that we just unlocked.
Oh, very cool.
We got a Pixel Trader in the house. He says, "Oh, hi, Mark." I get that a lot ever since Disaster. What was that? That movie? Oh man, I forget. With the Franco brothers. Yeah. But yeah, from Coney Waves, I kept doing more and more books. Eventually, I caught the eye of my hero, the guy who made me want to get into comics, Rob Liefeld, and I started working with him, scripting a lot of his work. Then he decided he wanted to bring back his character Evangeline for me to be the writer on. So I did that at Image for about a year. And then after that, Rob was working for DC Comics on New 52. And he was doing just Hawk and Dove at the time, but they wanted him to take on 3 more books. And he said, I could do these books, but I'm going to need help. And they asked him who he wanted to work with, and he mentioned me. So I was his scripter for Savage Hawkman, and we had a killer creative team. It was me and Rob, Joe Bennett, and Art T. Bear doing Savage Hawkman. So that was an awesome experience.
You got a chance to work with some cool people. Yeah.
It was a cool experience until it wasn't any longer. And I found out I got fired on Twitter.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So Rob had a falling out with our editors. Not just on Hawkman. Things I think were running pretty smooth on Hawkman for the most part, but he was having issues on other books, and it just drove him to quit DC. And very publicly on Twitter, he was airing his grievances.
Yeah.
And I found, I think it was Dan DiDio sent out a message saying, we haven't decided who the new writer on Hawkman was. And I was like, I guess I don't have a job anymore. And yeah, a couple hours later, then my editor emailed me and said, I guess you saw what happened today. It was nice working with you.
It's like, yeah, of course, unsolved.
Yeah. They a couple days later, they ended up hiring me back to finish the run, because they said they already paid for Rob's stories. They might as well have me finish scripting them, since they were happy with the work we were doing. And they doubled my pay. And I thought, oh, wow, this is actually going to turn out better than I thought. Until Rob and Scott Snyder started having a very public Twitter battle. I was like, this isn't going to end well for me. And sure enough, it didn't. DC wasn't happy about Rob arguing with Scott Snyder, who was like their golden boy at the time. So they couldn't fire Rob, so they fired me. But I did manage to turn in one script with that new pay raise before I got fired for the second time in a week.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that ended my run on mainstream comics. Since then, I've strictly self-published, and things have never been better. One of my longest friends in the industry was John Malin, and we started working on Graveyard Shift. I actually pitched the idea to him back in 2010, and we were always busy. Either I was at DC or he was at Marvel, and then things just perfectly aligned in 2017 for us to launch Graveyard Shift. Basically, after every indie publisher passed on it and told us it was too 90s, too Liefeld, which are my
stuff that we like.
Yeah, my two wheelhouses, like 90s comics and Rob Liefeld. So, we launched Graveyard Shift, and it's been, all systems go ever since.
I keep having an unstable internet connection. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're out. Like, who knows? You pay for the highest stuff, and then and then like, oh, you don't have enough bars. I'm like, what are you talking about? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my camera off, just so I'm not pulling as much internet.
Yeah.
days up there like that. We share a StreamYard, several of us do, because it's only smart.
Blue Teddy says, just listening to that story stresses me out. What a messy way to do business. Oh, welcome to mainstream comics.
Yeah, that's really,
yeah. Yeah, no, it can get pretty, I don't know, high school with the big two.
Yeah. Well, I think that,
honestly,
dare I
anywhere,
say comics in general?
Yeah.
Or anywhere, man. It's ridiculous. Kind of the I don't like you.
Yeah.
In fact, I think, that whole the whole like CG space, that whole like anti, it all kind of started because of that,
Yeah. No.
Just people being stupid, and then it just keeps getting worse and worse, in my opinion. People they're just fighting for position, and they're just happy to keep the status quo, and especially in the mainstream these days. And
yeah.
it just it stresses me out. I just want to make comics and mind my own business.
Yeah, no, that's what I try to practice. I just keep my head down and keep making books. I always tell myself this could all end at any moment, so I want to make sure I get all my ideas out there.
Yeah, I mean, I almost bit the dust, so it's like, I don't want to waste time arguing on stuff. I want to make fun comics, I want to do fun stuff. I want to be able to look back at what I did at the end of my life and think, wow, I made some stuff. Of course, you're not going to have that problem with your catalog. I would have loved to work in the mainstream.
Yeah.
A long time ago. I think now I'm not so in love with it these days. The idea of it anymore.
Yeah.
It just got kind of silly.
Bat on My Face asks, any plans for Sea Dog after this and Dogs of War? So Sea Dog guest stars in Hurley's Heroes. It's a character my son and I created together. It's about a dog who gets superpowers after his owner finds a enchanted anchor medallion while he's fishing, and he puts it around his dog. He thinks it would make a nice collar, and he becomes Sea Dog. He's this humanoid dog with superpowers, and he loves being a human so much. He's like, I'm never turning back into a dog, so he assumes a secret identity as a rapper. Sea Dog spelled CDAWG. And so there's two humanoid dogs walking around, and no one can tell that they're the same person, even though they share the same name. And it's just fun. He's a dog who can turn into a fish, any sea creature basically. That's his superpowers. But yeah, one day my son and I were going to do a full Sea Dog graphic novel. There's 2 volumes of Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch, and that's a team-up book that Clinton Holinsky and I have done. Our characters, Sea Dog, Clint's characters are Codename Kill Switch, and if you love 90s comics, like that's the perfect book for you. It's just ridiculous, over-the-top action with colorful characters. But yeah, that one of these days, Chase and I are going to do a full Sea Dog solo book, and the Dogs of War are all my canine characters. Sea Dog, Bazooka Dog, and Viking Wolf. They team up in U.S. Assassin 4, which is coming out later this year.
You got a thing for dogs, huh?
I'm a dog person.
Me too.
I spent the majority of my life being a cat owner, and then my son talked me into getting a dog, and yeah, I'm a dog person now. I never would have guessed it.
Yeah, I love dogs. In fact, I think I love dogs more than I like most people.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you there. Pixel Trader says Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch is the only book to get Indie-Cron flagged for advertising removal. There are some pretty ladies on the Codename Kill Switch team.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I'm a big fan of stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the cool things about making comics was that my son is really taken to it, and we get to collaborate on some projects together.
That would be fun, I think. Working with your kid. How old is your son?
He's 12. He's going to be 13 in May. But we've been working on stuff together for a long time. I think he first started showing an interest when he was 4, and he would do little pinups for I was doing some children's books. One of them was called A Cat Named Haiku, and there's a drawing he did of haiku when he was 4 years old in there. But the very first book we did together, where he was my co-writer, was a book called Pizza Tree, and it was an idea that he came up with about a little boy who plants a slice of pepperoni in his backyard, and evil pizza tree grows from it, and it goes after the townsfolk. And I love
so pure about things like that, ideas like that. It's people get, especially in comics right now.
Yeah.
People get way too serious.
Yeah.
It's come on, enjoy it. Have some whimsy.
Yeah.
I just love ideas like that.
Yeah, I just love fun books, and when he told me that story, I was like, oh, that's a book, and we're gonna do it. And that was the first book I self-published in 2017. I paid for a print run of 1,000 48-page hardcovers, and we it was offered on in previews, and it went into comic shops, but we just toured the country pretty much, just going to every Comic-Con and in-store signing we could. And I have one case of those books left. But we did a signing at San Diego Comic-Con, and just so many cool things. We did a signing at there's a pizza museum in Philadelphia. We got to go there. So very lots of cool memories already making comic books together.
That's awesome. I love that. My daughter will probably take her hack at writing.
Yeah.
She's a pretty good artist. She keeps developing her skills, and she'll be pretty good. My son doesn't really have a lot of interest in it. He's a computer guy,
Yeah.
That's what he's all about.
Yeah, Chase is really turning into a great artist. I keep telling him one day he's going to just draw all the books I write, and I'll never have to look for another artist again.
Right. I hear a lot of writers have trouble with artists.
I've been fortunate. I've never had a problem. I've had I'm very fortunate in that sense. I just have a lot of great relationships with the artists I work with. In fact, I think maybe one of the reasons I'm so busy is because a lot of great artists reach out to me and ask to work with me. So I have a hard time saying no when such talented people, want to work with me.
Well, of course. I mean, you gotta keep them drawing, right?
Yeah.
Pencils up.
Yep. Pixel Traders asks, Mark, what are your thoughts on militarized mermaids armed with starfish throwing stars?
I wonder why he's asking that question. I mean, he's not talking about Mermaid or anything.
Yeah. I think that's a hit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I think it's going to be fun. Eric Hodson is drawing that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think I really like his work.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Eric's too. He introduced me to the Roddy Piper estate. Roddy Piper's guest starring in U.S. Assassin 4. So.
Oh, cool.
We got Pedro in the chat. What's up, Pedro?
What's up, buddy? He's got this sleeve tattoo. I'm gonna tackle that last, man. Yeah, I'm gonna tackle that thing last. Yeah, everything. We're gonna do everything else, and then we're gonna go on we're gonna mess with the tat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lead up to it, Will.
So besides the Hurley's Heroes comic book, we're actually so my very first book, Coney Waves, it was published by Arcana Studio, which at the time was Canada's biggest comic book publisher. And
are you Canadian?
No. But working with them, after like, I don't know, very quickly, I don't know, the owner liked me, and I soon started writing press releases for the company. And then maybe after a couple of years, he asked me if I would want to be his vice president of the company. Cool. And together we published about like 300 graphic novels during my I want to say 5 years with the company. And we've always remained friends. And he's actually not publishing anymore. He opened an animation studio in Vancouver and started producing animated films. And now he's actually writing, directing, and producing live action films. And he's seen all the success I've had with crowdfunding and asked if we could work together on something. And I told him about Hurley's Heroes, and he loved the idea of someone gaining superpowers from a superhero organ donor. So we're working to develop that into a live action movie.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I've been through the development process, and it's not, I don't have any movies made, but so it's a long shot, but it's still cool that someone shows interest and to see it go through this process.
I have never optioned anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just your boy over here just scribbling.
Genuine Comics is in the house. What's up, Dave? Thanks for joining us. But I've been through the process, and it's so many times I thought, especially my first book, Coney Waves, we actually did a huge signing at San Diego because we were developing it as a TV series, and we actually had Melise Zhao, who at the time was one of the stars of Vampire Diaries, and she was attached to be Coney Waves. And we did this 2-hour signing at the Arcana booth. MTV covered it, and we were all so certain. And we're like, "Oh, this is going to happen. This is big." And no, it never it never happened. No.
And that's how it works. Like, this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was it like working with Rob and RT Bear?
Oh, it was awesome. Like, I had at the time I had been working with Rob on and off for about 3 years. So I already had a relationship with him. Just working with guys like Joe Bennett and RT Bear, man. I'm a 90s guy, and they both worked at Extreme Studios, Rob's company. So it was like, I don't know, I was like living a dream. And now, like at the time, I was like the new guy, and I was very nervous. I didn't want to I just kept quiet and kept my head down and did the work. But like since everything with CG has happened, I've really become friends with art, and he's had me on his channel, and we talk about the the old Hawkman days. So it's been cool to develop a friendship with RT Bear over the last couple of years.
That's awesome, man. So tell me, what's it feel like to have people know who you are?
So I've always had a day.
What's that like?
I've always had a day job. Even when I was working at DC, I still kept my day job, and at the time I was
working. Decision, right?
No, I'm always I always like to have a steady paycheck. But one day I was working for a mortgage company at the time. I was working on Hawkman, and I'm at my desk, and I get an email from another employee from the company. I don't know who they are, but I can tell it's a company email address, and it was like, "Hey, sorry to bother you, but are you the Mark Poulton from Hawkman?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "One, what are you doing here? And two, if I bring my books in, will you sign them?" And I was like, "One, I hate to burst your bubble, your illusion of comic creators, but it's not a lot of that much money. And two, yeah, bring everything you have. I'll sign it. I would love to."
Some people really think that it's a lot of money.
Yeah. But I mean, there are creators who are making a lot.
Yeah,
but
some manage it.
Yeah, scripting Savage Hawkman. It wasn't. I wasn't going to make a living doing that.
That's funny.
But yeah, that was like my first flash with people actually know who I am. And I'll still, like, every now and then I'll get invited to a Comic-Con, and it's Savage Hawkman's Mark Poulton. Even that 6 issues will get me invited to Comic-Cons.
Dude, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I'm drawing his little logo. It's Hurley's Heroes logo. So I like to work digital for most of the stuff that I do, because I can do little things like what I just did. I can kind of cheat a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can white it out. Like, I can just draw my guidelines. And I'll see, when you're working traditional, I find that it's like measure twice, cut once.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you're working digital, it's whatever. Go for it. You get there eventually. Kind of mentality. I can work a lot faster when I'm working digital because of that.
We got Jeff Potts in the chat. What's up, Jeff?
Yeah, that sleeve's gonna. Yeah, we're gonna do that last. So, what is the significance on that sleeve? Is it?
So for him, it's a lot of things that mean a lot to him. Like, I don't know if you're a Goonies fan, but there's the skull map. He has that tattooed on his arm. Some other things. I think there's like a anchor medallion because his dad was in the Navy, I believe. So they're all things that mean a lot to him. Like, his biggest tattoo is actually on his chest, and that's part of the comic book. But when he was going through his organ transplants, he got "Never Give Up the Fight" tattooed across his chest because it took him a lot to rebuild his strength. He just like in the comics, he was like very frail, skin and bones almost after the transplants.
So Hurley really is kind of he's a real guy.
Yep. Yeah.
Just a real dude. I like that, man. the, I don't know, it just makes the whole thing better, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it definitely gives it a sense of realism, because we're inspired by being, the whole thing's inspired by his story. Dave Brink asks, "What is your process with writing, Mark? Are you a plotter or a pantser?" I'm probably a plotter. I like to outline my stories, and I have those key moments in my head that I know I want to hit with each story, and then it's just sort of like filling out that outline once I have those key parts. Like, I usually always know how I want it to start and end, and then I know those big moments, and then it's just like those little details to fill out the rest of the story, to connect those moments. But I don't write the dialogue until after the artwork starts coming in. That's just what I learned from working with Rob Liefeld. He would just give me artwork and say, "Here, script it." So I really learned to like that process. And some of the collaborations I've had with artists, their artwork will inspire me to go in a different direction than I originally had wanted to, because maybe they'll do a facial expression on a character that will, I don't know, spark something in me to go a different way. When I was doing Evangeline at Image Comics back in 2011, the artist on the book was Owen Jenny, and he was he did the best, I think, facial expressions for characters, and they were so these expressions were so colorful that the storylines just started going to different directions, because he would make like a background character who I just loved the look of so much that I was like, oh, he needs to be part of the story. And that character would just keep returning, and I would come up with ways to incorporate them into the story. I think all my Evangeline stuff is still up too. After it did its run at Image, it was a webcomic for a while, and I think it's still all available on Keenspot's website.
What has been your favorite project to work on, if you can choose one?
Oh, it has to be Pizza Tree with my son. Just all the memories that we've been able to share together. That's been awesome. If I had to pick a favorite property, it would have to be U.S. Assassin, just because G.I. Joe is like the book that made me a comic book fan. And U.S. Assassin is my G.I. Joe, and Mike McMahon, the artist of the book, is one of my best friends. So to get to do the book with him, my son also, he's created characters for that book who have gone on to be some of the most popular characters. So that kid's a creative genius. Co-creator of Bazooka Dog, creator of Slither, which are probably two of the three most popular characters. But yeah, U.S. Assassin, I have a lot of love for that. We're launching Volume 4 later this year, and we're going to launch an action figure line as well.
Oh, way cool.
Yeah, that's both exciting and nerve-wracking.
So who's been your favorite collaborator? I know I might get you in trouble on that one.
Oh man, so a lot of my best friends are like are the artists I work with. Obviously my son, that'll get me off the hook. My son's my favorite collaborator, But Mike McMahon from U.S. Assassin is one of my best friends. Chris Graves, who's the artist of Writhe in Pain, my upcoming book. He's one of my best friends. We work out together. Sean Aaron, I'm publishing his book Type 1, and he's one of my closest friends. Same with Dexter Weeks, the friend I made at the department store my first day there. He works on all my books. He's the letterer of Hurley's Heroes. So yeah, I gave you 4 people, so they're like my 4 favorite people to work with.
I got a good one for you now. You're gonna like this one. Or you're gonna like it. Who's your least favorite collaborator?
Oh, I would never answer that.
I know. No one ever wants to. I never.
Yeah. I will tell you who the hardest critic is, and that's my son.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's a perfectionist. So
at 12, huh?
Yeah.
Already a perfectionist.
Yep. So he'll be brutally honest. He'll tell me things he doesn't like, and I was like, all right, but you can't say that when, I'm hanging out with those artists.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. These people give daddy money. Right?
Yep. Bat on My Face says, you also have one of the last George Perez covers to your credit. Yeah, as far as I know, it's the last cover George did. Well, the last that was published for my book Loose Threads, which is still in demand on Indiegogo. I'm actually fulfilling that right now, but the artist of Loose Threads, Cesar Madaro, lives in Spain, and George's last convention trip to Spain, Cesar reached out, I guess met him at the convention and asked if he would be interested in collaborating on a cover, and George was up for it, and he drew our main character, Queen Madeline, inside a crystal ball, and Cesar drew the rest of the cover. So I'm honored to have what could possibly be George Perez's final cover.
Yeah, that is so awesome.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing, really, because I was talking to I forget who I was talking to, one of my friends, and they were asking me like what my goals are for comics, and I was like, honestly, I've kind of, everything else is just bonus. I've done everything. Like, I never thought I'd do what I did when I was working with Rob Liefeld, who was my hero. I thought, oh, this is the peak. It'll never get better than that. And then, John and I launched Graveyard Shift, and that blew up, and it's allowed me to do all these books and start my own company with my son. I was like, well, it can't get any better than that. And
can't get any better.
Yeah.
And it starts to get better.
So I've been very fortunate. Yeah, you think it can't get any better, and then you publish possibly George Perez's final cover. And,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible.
And life has a way of doing that for you.
Yeah.
You think it's going one way, and it could be for the good, it could be for the bad, but
yeah,
you got to look for the strawberry. That's what I've learned. And if you just pay attention, it gives you little gifts like that.
Yeah. Doing a great job with the
Thanks, man.
The piece, man. I love all the creases in the pants.
It's fun to draw those things.
Yeah. If anyone in the chat, if they're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's Primetime Poulton. Every Wednesday we do CG Revolution, which is me, Mike McMahon, Chris Graves, and Sean Aaron. We go over all the new campaigns on Indiegogo, some Kickstarters as well, and
Indiegogo's been a problem for some people.
Yeah. My Loose Threads book was shadow banned on the last day, so I did Hurley's Heroes kind of as a test. and so far so good. We haven't been shadow banned. I mean, the campaign could be doing better, but I know I apparently violated the terms of service with loose threads. I never got an official reason why it was shadow banned, but I did afterwards. It came to my attention that I violated the terms of service by promoting loose threads in my other campaigns updates, which is a no-no. Which seems silly because if you were Indiegogo, I would think you would want people to promote their projects and make them as much money as possible.
Yeah, it is silly.
Yeah.
All that's the reason why I decided to start this Fund My Comic thing.
Yeah,
it turns out the dang thing is a beast, and it's keep finding problems with it. But
yeah,
it's because all the things that. So we did a survey.
Yeah.
From people in the community, like, what do you want it to do? And so we're like, okay, well, let's make it happen. And every time we add one of those things, I guess it creates another little issue. But we want to make sure it's right. I mean, this stuff normally takes like years to come to market, and so we're doing it in a matter of months, which is unheard of. But,
I'm anxiously waiting for it to. I've been watching like all your moves, man. I'm excited for you.
Thanks. And we'll see what happens. But we're just trying to give us a better opportunity to sell books and make it out there. I mean, it's and really it's for everybody. I've been a CG creator now for a while. I don't call myself. I just call myself a creator. I don't like to qualify what I do to anybody. It's part of my personality, I guess. I'm not antagonistic, but I don't play well with others, I guess. Maybe that's my problem. I'm always ready for a fight. My wife says that I fight recreationally. I'm like, well, I guess maybe. But I woke up from my nap,
Yeah.
Just kind of over, stupidness, I guess.
Yeah.
And we dealt with that. I don't know if you heard about the Liberty Distribution thing. That massive grift.
Yeah, I was actually asked to be a part of that, and I didn't.
Well, you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, no, I was asked to have Sea Dog and Codename Killswitch a part of it, and I had a bunch of questions about it. I mean, it sounded like a great opportunity, but I had a bunch of questions and I didn't get any answers, and then it just seemed like they had decided on their books, so I thought, I missed out. But
no, like you said, I remember that you were being talked to about that.
Yeah.
It was, I think, Figaro that talked to you, wasn't it?
No, it was the person who was in charge of it.
Varian?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lucked out then on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he massive grift.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe it, but I mean, I called him a friend.
Yeah.
And we had a relationship, so I didn't expect it from him, but
yeah, no, that was shocking when I heard about it.
It is what it is. You see why I wanted to get a little head start on this, right? Because
you're
those folds I wanted to do in the pants.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. It's killer.
Yeah, I liked the costume. Who designed your characters?
So I designed this character. Yeah, I did a little. I consider myself an artist. I'm not as good as the artists I work with, but I'm capable. So I came up with the design and I gave it to the interior artist, Fredson Oliveira, and we came up with the final look. But yeah, a lot of people joke and say it's, he's Ryder from Paw Patrol. I don't know if you're familiar with that show.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's grown-up Ryder from Paw Patrol.
Yeah, if Ryder was a grown-up and a human.
Added up and
Yeah. I can see it. Yeah.
Am I mistaken, or didn't you do an action figure for one of your campaigns?
I did. Yes, I did an action figure. I'm gonna do a new one. But I self-print all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I got a 3D printer. I'll 3D print the whole thing and hand paint them and all that kind of stuff. I had someone else do the first one.
Yeah.
They printed that one off for me, and it turned out alright. I liked it, but I wanted to do something a little more like, I'm a big He-Man fan from back in the day.
Yeah.
How old are you, Mark?
I'm going to be 50 in April.
Okay. So you're just a little bit older than I am.
Yeah.
I'm 42. I grew up with He-Man. In fact, He-Man is probably the reason why I'm into comic books now. Because my dad would get up real early for work, and the first showing of the He-Man show would be on when he would leave, and so I got to where I would wake up, grab my chocolate milk, and watch He-Man. And he had a coworker that would come pick him up, and they would carpool.
Mm-hmm.
And this coworker saw that I liked He-Man one morning, and so he gave my dad some comic books, thinking, oh, well, if he likes He-Man, he might like these comic books that I got. I guess he got them. He didn't care if his kid didn't like them or whatever.
Yeah.
So he gave them to my dad, who then passed them on to me, which then created this lifelong love affair with the medium, which hello, here I am. Yeah, so that's how that all played out. So yeah, I wanted to do the action figure kind of like what I would do.
Yeah.
Like an old He-Man. So I've got that. The 3D designer did a really good job. I just have to print the joints. I've got the first test print done, but not the joints yet. So
that's awesome. For my U.S. Assassin figures that we're gonna do, I'm actually working with a toy company, Fox Forge Toys. They have their own line of figures called Stardust, and I was impressed with their toys, and they so happen to be located in New Jersey, where I'm located. And I reached out to them to see if they would have any interest in working with me. I gave them copies of the books, and they loved the books. They thought all the characters were toyetic. So we've been working together. I'm slowly getting in the 3D renders of all the characters. But we're going to hopefully launch it sometime this year. But I want them to be... I'm still a huge G.I. Joe fan. I want them to be in scale with the classified figures. So we're doing 6-inch U.S. Assassin figures. Belmont Press in the house. What's up, Belmont Press?
What's up, buddy?
What a time to be a kid. He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers. Golden age of cartoons with I guess they were toys with cartoon tie-ins.
Yeah. With cartoon commercials is what it was.
Yeah.
They were just selling me the action figure.
Yeah.
I knew it, and I didn't care.
Yeah.
I still know it, and I don't care.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. No,
Thundercats, Mask.
I wanted to be able to play with the things I was into. I liked watching the show and then being able to play with the action figures. It was so cool to be able to do that.
Yeah. I tell the story all the time. I was a fan of the G.I. Joe cartoon, or the G.I. Joe toys, and they did it so perfectly. The commercial would show, start off with a G.I. Joe cartoon, then it would show two kids recreating that scene with the toys, and then at the end it said, for more G.I. Joe, check out Marvel Comics issue whatever. And I was like, what? There's G.I. Joe comic books?
Comic book? Yeah.
I need that. And
it's like, there's more?
Yeah. And my mom took me to our local mall, that had a Walden's bookstore that carried comic books, and I got my very first comic book off their spinner rack. And I cut out the coupon and got a subscription, 1 year subscription to G.I. Joe.
Coming up on the hour mark.
Yeah.
Which means I've got to pick up my pace just a little bit. This is kind of a test for me too when I do these.
Yeah.
To see like, okay, Luke, what kind of chops do you got here? What can you pull off? What can you pull off in an hour and a half? My goal is to be a very efficient sequential artist.
Yeah.
And so, not a lot of people are working to be sequential artists. They're all doing pinups and things like that. And I want to. That's not my passion. I don't mind doing that. It's fun.
Yeah.
But these are fun because I get to like practice for me. But if I can get faster at stuff like this, then I can include it in the process of, the sequential can be better.
When I worked for Arcana Studio as their VP, I would get samples, submissions from artists all the time, and it was just like pinup art. And I was like, do you have any interiors? And they were like, what? No, I just want to do covers and pinups. And I was like, oh, we have a need for interior artists. We're good for covers. So yeah,
everybody does covers. Yeah, I kind of feel like if you really want a niche in comics, you've got to hit the sequential. You got to get good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's not a lot, like I said, there's not a lot of people doing it. Like I do layouts for some people as well. I'll do all that kind of stuff. Coming along.
Yeah, it's looking great.
Guys, don't forget to let me put that link back in the comments again.
Yeah, I think there's
the campaign.
8 more days left for 8 or 9 more days for Hurley's Heroes. This is the first 30 days. I'm just extending it for 14 days after that. So I feel like there's that dead zone in a campaign after the first 30 days. So like let's eliminate that, and we'll just do 2 more weeks after that.
Yeah, it's I find that campaigns have a kind of this built-in plateau in the middle.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out how to get rid of that. I mean, maybe I can't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's there forever. Maybe it's just, part of crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Apparently someone came to my front door.
But for anyone who's interested in Hurley's Heroes, the artwork is all done. The book's actually done. Once the campaign's over, we'll be going to the printer pretty quickly. It'll be another fast turnaround. I'm currently fulfilling Loose Threads, which is my 15th campaign fulfilled.
Yeah, you fulfill really well because I back a lot of your stuff. You fulfill very well, very quickly. The product always comes in a great shape.
Thank you.
I've never had any problems with anything that I've written. You're very professional when it comes to that. Do you do all the fulfillment yourself?
Everything except John Malin took over Graveyard Shift. I fulfilled the first one, and John came out and signed books, and then he went back to Michigan, and I finished doing the campaign. He wanted to be more hands-on, so he took over Graveyard Shift with Volume 2, fulfilling that. So it freed up a lot more time for me. So I keep myself plenty busy with all my other projects. So, but it's basically constant fulfillment as I finish up one project. The books are arriving for the next one. So I like that. I like to keep busy.
I'm similar to that in a sense.
Yeah.
When it comes to this hybrids book and now with some of the other things that I'm working on, but not quite to the scale that you guys are.
I am running out of a space problem though. I fulfill from my basement, which it was my man cave. I mean, you can see parts of it behind me, my figures and stuff, but everything on the other side of this screen, packaging supplies, cases of books.
Nice. Yeah.
I used to every Christmas I used to set up a huge Christmas village display. I probably have close to 100 different houses and stuff. The last 2 years I haven't had a chance to set it up because there's no room. I keep telling myself, I'm gonna have to sell all my Christmas village houses to have room for these books. Because there's a whole storage room just dedicated to that. I was like, I could really use that storage room.
Yeah, everything was in my office behind me. Most people if you've ever seen one of my streams, you notice that, Luke's got a pile of boxes and books behind him. Now, the new place we're going to, it's got plenty of room, so fulfillment will happen from the basement now. And my office will just be for streaming art, which I'm not gonna know what to do with myself. So I'll have room downstairs for fulfillment and a station to run all of my 3D printing when I do that. Nice. So it'll be very nice. Yeah. Quite different from.
In the chat, Bat on My Face says, I hear Hurley's Heroes has ties to a Mexican restaurant. ¿Por qué? I don't know what you're talking about, Bat. I'm not sure. Refresh my memory if I said something about that.
I don't know if I drew that exactly how you have it referenced, but...
Nah, don't worry about it. I love when artists do their own interpretation of the characters. I don't care if it's on model. Oh, okay. Bat on My Face says Universal's initiative. So Hurley's Heroes is a 40-page book. 28 pages is dedicated to Hurley's Heroes. 12 pages of the book is dedicated to a preview of another one of my properties, Universal's initiative. And that book was a project John Malin and I were hired to do back in 2011, I want to say, right when Graveyard Shift was in its infancy. We got hired by a studio in Mexico to help them create a whole universe of characters. And those characters were called the Universals, which they have the trademark for that in Mexico, but not in the U.S. So in the U.S., I had to call it Universal's Initiative. But we did 40 pages worth of stories for them, and they had plans to do a lot more, but for there was a bunch of different reasons why the Universals were never published. But I always kept in contact with the owners of the studio, and they one of the owners actually owns a chain of restaurants in Mexico, and they're superhero themed. They're called Comic X.
Nice.
And all the characters we created are on the menus, all the advertising for the restaurant chain, and in some of the restaurants they actually have life-size statues of the characters.
Oh, way cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool to know that John and I, we created these things that are part of a popular restaurant chain in Mexico. But like I said, the stories we did were never published. And I always remained friendly with the owner, so I finally reached out and said, hey, is there any plans to actually publish the work John and I did? And unfortunately, there wasn't. So I just took my shot and I said, hey, I've been having a lot of success lately. I would love to publish this if we could work out a deal. And they had kept tabs on what John and I were doing. They were impressed with Graveyard Shift. So we worked out an agreement where I could publish not only the 2 stories John and I did, but I can go further and do more stories of the Universals if I want to.
Way cool.
So it starts with this 12-page preview, which is in Hurley's Heroes. There's actually a mail-in cover from 2011, part of this Hurley's Heroes campaign. And then later this year, I'm going to launch Universal's Initiative Volume 1 with those 40 pages of John Malin artwork.
Oh, I've put it off long enough.
It's tattoo time, huh?
Yeah. Let's go for it. I'm going to try my best to do whatever's on there, but I don't think that I'm going to get it exact.
I wouldn't worry about it. Our artist asked to see the tattoos, so I gave him photo reference, and he just created a template that he just used.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
And just copy and paste,
Yep.
Just morph it around.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Hurley's Heroes also has the Universal's Initiative preview as part of the book. And so it's a flip book. The front 28 pages are Hurley's Heroes. The back half are Universal's Initiative. And since it's a flip book, I decided to do something fun with the covers. There's 3 covers. There's the Fredson Oliveira cover, Donald DeLay variant cover, and then the John Malin Universal's Initiative cover. Well, you flip them over if you get all 3, and there's a connecting image of the Haunted Pizza universe. That's all my titles: U.S. Assassin, Viking Wolf, Sea Dog, Universals, Black Owl, Writhe in Pain. All the heroes together. One connecting image across 3 covers, done by Chris Graves.
Chris Graves is good.
Oh yeah, Chris Graves. I think he's going to be on everyone's radar this year. Chris and I, we have the Writhe in Pain preview book, which is available on hauntedpizzallc.com right now. We're taking pre-orders for that while the Hurley's Heroes campaign is going live. Once Hurley's Heroes ends, I'm going to just cut off the pre-orders for Writhe in Pain as well, and send both books off to the printer. But if you back Hurley's Heroes and get the Writhe in Pain preview book, let me know your backer number and you'll get an exclusive trading card.
Oh, very cool. I like exclusives. I think everybody does.
Yeah.
I think everybody's very, very fond of the exclusives. Let's do watercolor opaque.
Yeah, one of the things I've done since I started my own company and published my own books, I bring back all the stuff I love from the 90s. So foil covers, connecting covers,
Yes,
trading cards.
as it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you've and I thank you for being a part of my campaigns and
Yeah.
checking out what I do. I appreciate that very much. It took me a while though to catch on that when I was sending out Mark Poulton, like that it was Mark Poulton. I was like, yeah, he's got the same name as that one guy. I was like, oh no, it's that one guy. So, but I like that 90s stuff too, like a lot, like probably more than I should at this point in my life, but I don't care.
Oh man, it was an exciting time. to be a fan then, and that's like when Comic Cons were really becoming big, and you can go to, like, I don't know, those guys were like rock stars. I remember Philly had this big Comic Con in the 90s, and like Liefeld was there, McFarlane was there. There was like such a buzz on the floor. Like, I went to the Extreme booth, and they were just like throwing merch out to the crowd, selling exclusives. They had like stacks of wads of cash in their hands. Like, people couldn't get enough of that stuff. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Battle My Face.
Fun still, but
yeah,
I like that.
Battle My Face wants to know if we're bringing back 90s stuff. Can we bring back clackers and slap bracelets?
On it. I'll figure out how to put a logo on it.
U.S. Assassin slap bracelet coming soon.
Yeah, I will figure out how to put a logo on that stuff. I'll put a logo on anything. My wife was like, "You're obsessed." Yeah, pretty much. She goes, I've got Hybrids branded shoes.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't put them up on the website yet because.
Yeah.
I got sick before it happened.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like, I spend a lot of time just like scouring the internet looking for what I can put, like the Haunted Pizza logo on or the U.S. Assassin logo on. Like, there's foam stress relief grenades. I was like, oh, I have to get them for U.S. Assassin.
Of course, it's almost like God was like, Mark, what are you waiting for?
Wow, this is looking great.
Thanks. And hopefully it's good enough that you'll want to get it colored, and you can do with it whatever you want. It's all yours.
Oh, I'm already planning on using it in the book, so thank you.
Yeah, we will be in Indiana in 2 weeks. I grew up there, so I won't be that far from you.
Nice.
Yeah, I originally grew up there, but much further north than where I'm going to be. I'm actually going to be in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a comic book shop there. And I don't know, maybe I'll do something about that. Maybe not. Maybe I've started enough businesses, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Do you try to do conventions when you can?
I do. I love doing conventions. I love going out and seeing people. I know a lot of people, especially in the, within CG, they're not keen on conventions, but I am. I find that people out there do not care.
Yeah.
About this stupid internet drama.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I say it. I say it all the time. Normal people don't care.
They don't care at all.
And when you try to explain it to them, they don't even understand why that's a thing.
Yeah, they're like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
All they care about is what they like
mm-hmm.
and what's cool, right?
Yeah.
And so I think we need to do a little more spending time with that than always on YouTube and Twitter, because it's healthier.
Yeah.
You'll be happier if you just go to a convention and have a good time.
Yeah. No, December I was a guest at the Ocean City Comic Con in Maryland. I had a great time, and it was awesome because my row I was in, it was me, Chris Graves, Sean Aaron, Dexter Weeks, like all those people I said that are like my best friends that I get to work with. We all, the con put us all in a row in one aisle, so it was fantastic. It was just like it was hanging out with your friends for a weekend.
these realistic goals on myself.
What was that? You cut out for a second.
Am I there?
You're in and out.
I'm here, right?
Yeah. Now you are. Now I can
my
hear you.
internet's on again.
Yeah. We got Grey Wolf Graphics in the chat. What's up? Thanks for joining us, man.
Welcome, Grey Wolf. Grey Wolf was here this morning. I like doing the nerd bacon. It's fun. It's fun.
Nice. So out of all your projects, is Hybrids your favorite?
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably the one. Going nuts right now.
Yeah.
Can you guys even see me? Hear me?
I can hear you now.
Crazy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, you're in and out. In the chat, Grey Wolf Graphics says, John Della Rose just ended his stream and saw you were live. Blue Teddy says, Luke angered the internet when he said people should go out to socialize more, so now it's retaliating. Oh, it's all your fault, Luke. you angered the YouTube gods. But Luke's piece is looking fantastic. And Hurley's Heroes, 8 more days left in the first 30 days. After that, just 2 more weeks, I'm going to extend the campaign. We just unlocked the first stretch goal, which is the Hurley Heroes Garbage Pail Kids Inspired Trading Card. Next stretch goal is going to be a sticker at $8,000, and it's going to be based on Hurley's Never Give Up the Fight tattoo. You there, Luke?
Yeah, I think. I think I am. Like I've got I just got the dot on the bottom of the thing. You know, it's got like the little signal thing. I just have the dot right now.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know. It's holding on, guys. It's trying. It's barely holding on.
Grey Wolf wants to know, what program are you using to show your art screen?
To show the screen, I'm actually using StreamYard. I'm just sharing the screen through StreamYard right now. Hopefully he was able to hear that.
Yeah, he should. I was able to hear it.
Ooh, I wanted to do something.
Oh, now we lost you. Now you're back.
Of course. I'm back. Oh my gosh. So.
Oh, you're in and out.
Changed my mind. Yeah, the whole thing is giving me. I hope. Part of the problem. He's like, I'm gaming, Dad.
Yeah, I missed the whole.
Can you hear me now?
He just said. I can hear you now.
Oh yeah, I hope he's not gaming.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do that. He should be doing schoolwork is what he should be doing. I don't know. He might be done by now. We homeschool, and
we homeschool my son.
Yeah. Let's do something. And then don't like that one. Don't like that one. That's the one I want.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Trick, like, can't hear me right now. If I do this trick bit.
Yeah, you're in and out again.
Yeah, erase anything that's blue.
Yeah, I really like that. That looks great.
Thanks. Doing these loop draws because I get to draw these fun characters, and
it's a great idea for a show.
Yeah. I mean, other people do, like Hex Allen does something like this, but I got so many requests like, Luke, you need to do that, and I'm like, I don't necessarily want to do something somebody else is doing, especially if they're doing it really good.
Yeah.
There's not I don't feel like there's a point to it too. Mm-hmm. But I just got so many requests. I could. All right, I think. Find that there. I got one dot.
Yeah.
It is. I got one single dot. Oh.
Well, the finished piece looks incredible, man. Thank you so much.
So, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost Luke again, but
with Hurley, and so I'll send this. I'll get the high res saved and sent over.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And I'm gonna go ahead and pull out I'm gonna stop sharing the screen and see if that helps. It does not help at all. Yeah.
I can hear you now.
It's unstable internet tonight. Yeah. And so, all right.
Yeah.
So Hurley is done. We managed to get it done in an hour and a half. That's what I get for. It's only because I did some pre-work on that one. So yeah, we were able to get that one finished up. Thanks for being here. See, all my lighting is packed up. Everything. Yeah. Everything is packed. So my streams look crazy. The only thing I left out is my this extra light that I'm probably not taking with me because I got new lights to put in the office. And but yeah, great character, very interesting story. It was fun hanging out with you. Thanks for getting a hold of me.
Likewise.
So we can do this.
Yeah, no.
Guys, check out the project Hurley's Heroes, and give it a back. I know I will be doing that here shortly. And yeah, I think I did anger the internet gods when I said that YouTube, and I was like, life is not Twitter and YouTube, and then like,
yeah,
and they're like, yeah, you know what, screw you, man. You don't get to stream anymore. I want to thank everybody for being here watching. It was fun to draw the character, it really was. And so thanks for talking about yourself and watching the chat for so long. Guys, definitely check out all of the work that Mark does. It's all top-notch stuff. I mean, come on. The guy he's worked for the big guys. So he's tested. He's tested and approved, guys. Mark, thanks so much for being here. I'm gonna play out an intro. I'm gonna play out an outro or something. I'll find something. We'll play it out, and then we'll see you guys on next Thursday. I'll be streaming, and I don't think I'll stream again until the following Thursday because my setup will be packed up. So yeah, I'll be unpacking on Wednesday next week. So big move, man. It's crazy. So I've got all kinds of work to get done. So I can take a week off, I guess. All right. Well, thanks again, Mark, for being here. We appreciate you. Everybody check out his work. And here, what are we going to play it out on? I don't know. We normally do... Let me see.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
There's the market for that. There's a market for that. Here you go. We'll play this out. You guys have a good day.